Welcome to Lair the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, the results from our song battle community poll. This was an epic one. All these songs were great. This really put us to the task on this one. I had a lot of comments like, you're asking the impossible for me to pick here, because these were all great songs. What I tried to do is I tried to pick signature songs from all these artists. I had 5 groups, 5 songs in each. I tried to group the songs roughly like, the early 70s songs together, the late 70s songs together, the 80s songs together, the thrash songs together. Yeah, I couldn't 100% state it out, but that's what I tried to do. What I'm going to do with these results is I'm going to take the 5 number ones and I'm going to put them in a group. I'm going to take the 5 number 2s, the 5 number 3s. So we'll have 5 more groups. We'll battle those out, and then we'll come down to the top 5 then, from each one, and we'll see what the number one song is. Things like this are always hard also, because how do you judge? I go through this when I do album rankings, when I do my 10 favorite songs, because do you think there's songs from a lot of these artists, these bigger songs, that we're burnt out on them. Classic rock radio has played them to death. We've heard them a million times. So sometimes it's hard to get past that. But for me, what I try to do personally is I try to think of somewhere in the middle, how important was the song to me in my headbanging journey, my musical life. Because there was a point in time where, I remember when I got Paranoid for the first time as a 10-year-old, I remember the thing I was most excited about was, great, now I can listen to Iron Man and Paranoid whenever I want to. I don't have to wait for it to come on the radio, because at that point, as a 10-year-old, I hadn't heard those songs 8 million times yet. So I try to kind of go more towards where I was as a youth and how important these songs were to me in my journey. But this was not an easy task, because I pitted a lot of really epic songs that I like all these songs that are on this list. So this was not easy to do. All right, let's jump into it. In our first group, 426 votes. Holy Wars, Punishment Due, Megadeth came in at number 1 with 40%. For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica was number 2 with 35%. Rain and Blood was number 3 with 15%. Among the Living, Anthrax at 4th place, 5%. And Bond of Blood, Exodus came in 5th place with 5%. A tough one, but I'm going to go with Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. I'm going to go with the masses here. I always say that song is a great example of everything that's great about heavy metal. It's got top-notch musicianship. It's produced. The production is fantastic on it. The song is just great, and it's so epic. It has so many changes. It's so catchy. To me, it's like when somebody tells me they don't like heavy metal or they don't know anything about heavy metal. I've made mixtapes or playlists for people, and I always put this on there, because especially if the person is a musician, a guitar player or something, and they've never listened to heavy metal, they just think it's all noise. I play them something like this, and that little classical guitar thing in the middle, and it's just a fantastic song. But this was tough. My number 2 pick also would have been like with the group For Whom the Bell Tolls. Maybe, I don't know, Rain and Blood is pretty epic too. I think Rain and Blood would have been my number 2, and then For Whom the Bell Tolls, and then Among the Living, and then Bonded. Okay, Group B, 432 votes. Mean Streets, Van Halen runs away with this one at number 1 with 47%. Shout At the Devil, Motley Crue in 2nd place with 22. Tooth and Nail by Dokken, 3rd place with 13. Can't Stop Rock and Roll, Twisted Sister got 12% at 4. And Wanted Man by Rat came in at number 5 with 6% of the vote. I would have gone with Mean Streets too. It's an epic song. Eddie Van Halen, that intro and everything, that riff is absolutely killer. When I did a David Lee Roth era album ranking, Fair Warning was up really high on my list. It might have been my number 1. I can't remember now. I think it was my number 1. And Mean Streets is an amazing song. I remember at the time no one had any idea what Eddie was doing in that intro. I would have gone with Tooth and Nail as my second choice. And then You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, number 3. I actually love that album with Twisted Sister. To me, that song is a great kind of like hard rock metal anthem. Then probably Shout At the Devil, and then Wanted Man. Okay, Group C, 479 votes. Number of the Beast comes in at number 1 by Iron Maiden with 27%. Holy Diver by Dio is number 2 with 24%. Ace of Spades, Motorhead, 3rd place, 21%. Mr. Crowley, 4th place, 17%. For those about to rock, we salute you. AC/DC, 5th place with 11%. I'm going to go against the grain on this one, and I'm going to go with Mr. Crowley. Probably because I'm a huge Randy Rhoads fan, but this is another song that when I'm making a mixtape, especially for musicians who don't know anything about heavy metal, I always throw Mr. Crowley on there. The keyboard intro, Randy's playing, it's epic. The end of the song, that guitar line, it's so melodic. Ozzy's vocal performance is great. I love the lyrics. It's one of my favorite metal songs of all time. So that would have been number 1 for me. Then I probably would have gone with Holy Diver. Number 2, I love Holy Diver. Number 3 for me would have been Beast by Maiden. And then probably for those about to rock, and then Ace of Spades. Okay, Group D here, we had 455 votes. Stargazer takes this in first place with 42%, Judas by Rainbow. Judas Priest, Victim of Changes, second place with 31%. Rock Bottom, UFO, third place, 11%. Emerald by Thin Lizzy, fourth place, 10%. Sails of Charon, Scorpions, fifth place, 7%. Same for me here. Stargazer is one of the greatest heavy rock metal songs of all time. It's just absolutely epic in scope. Ronnie James Dio, Ritchie Blackmore, my favorite guitar player of all time. The guitar solo in this song, it's the definition of epic. That would have been my number 1. I would have gone with Victim of Changes at number 2. I probably would have gone with Emerald in third place, and then Rock Bottom, and then Sails of Charon. Tough group, though. All right, Group E, our last group, 458 votes. War Pigs by Black Sabbath was number 1, 34%. Highway Star by Deep Purple, number 2 with 29%. Kashmir, Led Zeppelin, number 3, 21%. The Wizard by Uriah Heep, fourth place with 8%, and Aqualung, fifth place with 8%. I would have gone with War Pigs. This is a good example of my intro here where I said, maybe I'm a little tired of that song, but hey, when that song comes on, that's a song that always gets played a lot when you're waiting for a headlining band to come on, at a show. And when it's blasting out over the PA system, it's just amazing. When Sabbath opens their shows with this, it's just amazing. It's a fantastic song. That would have got number 1 for me. I probably would have gone with Kashmir second because it's just so epic, the strings and everything. Highway Star, third place. These would have been so close. The Wizard, Uriah Heep would have been fourth place for me, and Aqualung, fifth place. All right, there you go. Thanks to everybody for voting. Look for the next poll. I'm going to take all the number 1s, put them in a group, the 5 number 1s, another group of the 5 number 2s, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. We'll break those down, and then the final poll will have one group, 1 through 5, the winners of the number 1s, the winners of the number 2s. All right, so make sure you vote with that. It's under the community tab there, the Laird Alchemist homepage. Thanks again, and until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.